Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Having weird things going on with my phone. I'm trying
Oh
to
no.
send someone a message and like when you have a page and then you have like the
Yeah.
Facebook, it's not letting me go over so that I can message someone. And
Oh
we were just talking
no.
about how I should before we start. And
Well, I mean, weird weekend, right?
yeah, and it's connected to that. So that makes it even more interesting to
Oh
me.
no. Well, welcome to the awakening. So it's all part of it, right?
Right.
Intuition and tapping in but how was your weekend so far, Dee?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah,
I've
mine was
been
too.
hanging out with a couple of friends this weekend and just trying to relax. But sometimes I feel like that just adds more things to do.
Sometimes it does, right? It's all
Yeah.
good though. I see we have some people popping in on the side here. Hey,
I got
Sandy,
Sandra.
Kaylee. Oh, hi. It's so nice to see them.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
Yes. So we had asked an open invitation for people to kind of send in their dreams so that we could do a dream analysis, and we actually did get a few, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I was excited. We got two people that sent in dreams. And so we worked them up. And the difference is if you just ask stuff on the side, I can give you kind of like a partial idea. But if you set it to me ahead of time, then I can do like a larger analysis and kind of give you a lot more information. And I'm hoping that they're on the side in case we want to kind of bounce back and forth a few ideas.
So people are still coming in here. Oh, hey, Sarah. I saw
Hi,
Mark and Stacy, Mary Ruth,
Michelle,
Michelle. Hey, oh, I
Mark
love this. I
Brown.
love seeing people showing up for this. It's
Yeah, thanks,
exciting.
guys.
Hey, Michelle. Bridget. Oh, I love you, Bridget. How are you? Hey,
Facebook
Facebook
user,
user.
everyone's favorite person.
And John. Hi, John. Oh, good. This is nice. And thank you for
Yeah.
spending your Sunday with us, guys. Sunday evening. Hopefully, yeah, I guess Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon, depending on what
Where you're at.
So, as far as with dream analysis with sending them in, what is the process for you once we send a dream into you? Because I know I even sent you one this weekend.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I will take your dream and obviously I'll read it and kind of get my first, thoughts about what it kind of seems like it means. And then I'll go through and I'll pull out everything that I think is a dream symbol or a really important dream symbol. And then I'll sit with each one of those symbols and decide what they mean. And then I will kind of begin to understand the theme of the dream, the story, and I'll put it together to see how they flow together, and it'll start to unfold what it means. And then I'll go back and I'll reread it, and you start to see, instead of like what the symbol is, you see what it actually means. And it's like it's always mind-blowing for me because like a lot of times I'll read it and I'll like kind of get the gist of it, but then when I like totally go through it, and it has such a deep meaning that it's really cool,
I love that. It's like connecting the dots. And then even like, so
Totally.
once you have all the symbols and you go back through and it kind of rebuilds the story.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And I just fill it in like the Mad Libs.
That's great. Oh, I love that so much. So how should we dive right into one of them to start? And then,
We could.
yeah, let's
Yeah.
do that.
Okay.
And then I can pull a card forward if that's,
Yeah.
if it feels appropriate.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, the first person that sent one in was Michelle Hammond. I see she's on the side, so that's perfect. So my question to you, Michelle, is what does an antique shop mean to you? What is your first thought when you see antique shop? Because that's how the dream starts. And then while she answers that, I'll read the dream, which I actually have to grab here. Sorry. So anytime you have a dream and there's a symbol like that, like an antique shop is going to mean something different to different people. Like we were talking about beforehand, like for me, it means shopping, it means finding treasures, it's pleasure. To somebody else, it could be a memory because maybe their mom worked at an antique shop. So it's different for everyone. Some people just don't like antique shops. Or like you say antique shop and they're like, no. So it just depends. It could be a good or a bad thing. So I'm going
She
to bring
loves
up her
shopping at them.
dream.
Me too. I love them.
Yeah. Okay, let me find her dream. I've been having a lot of trouble with my messenger all of a sudden. I don't know. There's another dream that has to do with the Conjuring house. And when I started trying to do anything about that, my whole phone didn't stop working right.
Oh, well,
Because she loves shopping at them.
she
So,
does.
so then that's a sign of something that she likes. Okay, so it says, I recently dreamed that I was working in an antique shop with a coworker I dislike. We were closing for the day. As I walked past an interior door with a window, I noticed a little boy with dark hair, about 2 or 3, sitting at the top step. He looked at me and said, "Good night, Mommy." Before I could respond, he stood up with a butcher knife in his right hand, looking at me, and I ran out of the store, never finishing closing duties. So that's a really, I loved that dream, but I could see how it's really disturbing. Like you would wake up and you'd be like, what? Why? So I did a quick workup on this because I just saw it like probably 15 minutes ago. But so the antique shop, so something that brings you pleasure, like shopping, but it's being disturbed by a coworker that you dislike being there. So something in your daily life that you enjoy is being disrupted by something you don't enjoy, is how I take that. So you were closing for the day and you walk past an interior door. So this is something that reflects inward towards you. The little boy with the dark hair, that could represent a lot of things. If it's just a generic child, it's not somebody that you know, then it's going to be an aspect of yourself as a child, either something you remember being a child or an emotion or a way of dealing things that you did at that age. So he looked and said, "Good night, Mommy." So that aspect of yourself is looking for that love or nurturing. And for whatever reason, it's been flipped around as a threat. So you have to think, what in your daily life is that something that used to bring you pleasure, but now it's causing dislike or disharmony. And then what you want, what you're seeking out is love, maybe protection. And in return, it seems like it's being a threat. So you'd have to fill in what those actual things are, but that's what the dream means.
So I was pulling cards as you were reading that. And as you got to the little boy, right before you got to the point where he said he pulled a knife.
Yeah.
Right? I got the 10 of Swords.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
So that could mean to hitting rock bottom or feeling like you can't get any lower with a situation, kind of just like a desolate, like face in the dirt kind of a rock bottom, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, as you were, what happened? I'm sorry, what happened after the little boy again?
Then she ended up running out of the shop and not closing, not finishing her duties. So whatever it was caused her to like drop the pleasure in her life, is how I see it.
Okay. So that might be, so I got the High Priestess, which is usually a call towards femininity or like breaking back into your intuition. So I wonder if this isn't some sort of maybe having to face something that you used to be okay with, or something sparked fear, and then you have to face it to be able to like reopen your intuition again.
Yeah.
And through doing that, I got the Fool, which is a new beginning, which is a new journey. So maybe this is like ending one chapter, having to do the work to end a chapter to begin a new one. Does that work for as far as like the interpretation?
Yeah, which is why she's leaving the shop then, right? So she's leaving,
Right.
she's going to have to, it's either a message to leave something behind and start anew,
Right.
or that, you know, she has left something, you know.
And so this is her starting something new, like that time right before you take that jump of that leap of faith.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. I like that.
Does that mean anything to you, Michelle?
Does that make sense at all? Oh, that's fun. I love it. The cards actually did match up then with the dream interpretation.
Yeah. I love pulling cards with dream interpretations because it just gives it, and it always works. And it just flows and it gives you more understanding.
Oh, good. I'm glad that really does make sense for you. Good. Oh, that's awesome. Wild. So the child, if you don't have a child in your life, then it's an aspect of yourself. Is that, did I understand that correctly?
Yeah. So, and then also, even if you're dreaming of, say, your child that you
Mhm.
actually have, but they could still be an aspect of yourself. It just depends. Like I've had
Oh,
dreams about my son where he's lost and I can't find him. And it's because I actually do worry about him. So he
aw.
really is him. But if it's just like a generic child that you don't know, it's definitely going to come back that it's you. So you have to think, then you have to look at the age and what was going on in your life at that age that reflects like current emotions or the way you deal with things that are either learned during your age during that time, or how something, an event that was going on at that age.
Oh, that's wild. That really does, it makes you sit with things and actually like
Yeah,
think
you
about,
really,
okay,
yeah,
what is my
it's a mystery.
subconscious trying to tell me?
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. Is anyone on the side? Do you guys ever have dreams about a child that maybe isn't necessarily your child? Does that resonate with anybody else on the side?
I'm trying to think if I've had any dreams with children in it. I've had dreams with like babies and being pregnant and stuff.
Have you?
Yeah, through the years I have. And I was like, and when I was younger, I'd be like, maybe I should take a pregnancy test. Because a lot of times you think it's like foretelling the future, but usually it's not.
Yeah, I mean, could that to be like, because that's fertility? Could that mean like a new thing, something new
Right.
coming into your life, even if
Yeah.
it's not a child, right?
It's a new beginning, a new idea, a new project.
That's crazy. What about like I've already had dreams where I've found a child that was lost, like not my kid, but like randomly found somebody that was a little kid. Does that kind of play into that too, or is that something
You're
completely
finding an
different?
aspect of yourself more than likely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it would depend on where did you find the child, what was going on, how did you react to the child? Like was
Oh,
the
so that like
child
all plays
lost?
into it.
Yeah, so you'd have to
Oh,
look at everything else that's going on. And I think that's where people get lost on dream symbols. It's not just, I had a dream about a baby. It's like, what else was going on? You got to put it all together and figure out what each thing means. And then your mind, the light bulb goes off.
oh man, yeah. So I've had dreams about a child, but it changes from for a girl to boy, always an infant. Oh,
Huh.
oh, it was like always a tiny baby.
Yeah. Well, that would be like a new project or a new idea. And the fact that it switches from girls to boys could be whatever your viewpoint is. But boys are usually like the more masculine and the girls are the more feminine or the intuition. So it could be depending on the type of ideas that are coming up, is why it's
Oh,
being shown as, a boy or a girl.
I like that. Okay. What's this from Sam? I had a dream of a
I
baby that got
remember that.
kidnapped. Oh, she shared this one with you.
Yeah. Uh, I remember that. And I don't remember what the analysis was. I totally
Oh,
forget.
wow. There's a
Uh,
lot of detail to that, though. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I remember I think she was working like on a film project. And so that was the baby. And it getting kidnapped was almost like people stealing ideas or something to that effect. Um, and then there was a woman in front of a hotel. Hotel is transition. I don't remember. Red cars, passion was something that she was passionate about. I really
Oh,
feel like it had to be about having her idea taken or something like that. Is that
oh,
right?
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there she goes. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Isn't it funny how like, because I know like the dream that I shared with you this weekend, I woke up from that like I'm still trying to figure out what the heck that means. Because I woke up like, why would I dream that? So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh well, here we go. At least I finally remembered a dream. I went
Yeah. Yeah. Which was cool.
yeah, like how long was it? Like when we first decided that
Yeah.
when we first started doing
A
that, I
month.
haven't had a dream since. I was
Yeah.
like, what is going on here? That's so
It
last
caused an
minute.
immediate block.
It really did.
Yeah. That's cool. So now maybe that you've had a dream and we do the analysis, I feel like the more you analyze your dreams, the more it sparks like curiosity and makes you remember your dreams more because
Oh,
you're
that would be
so
phenomenal.
when you start to get information from your dreams, it's like magic. It really is. It's amazing.
I love it. Well, isn't that something that Sarah's always said that we are magic, you know?
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. Totally. I'm reading this. It says pregnant tarot card, jar of pickles, and a broken piggy bank. And it's from me.
My goodness, could you imagine? That's a crazy.
Well, food is usually like substance. You need something.
Okay.
And a broken piggy bank. Well, I mean, you could take that to be that you've spent your money or you don't have enough money. Um,
Like losing, could that be like losing money, right? Like a
yeah. Well,
broken
especially if you come in and you're not the one that broke it, someone could have stolen something from you.
Oh man. That also sounds like tarot card being pregnant has a freaking hankering for some pickles and broke the piggy bank to go with its shopping to the supermarket. Oh my goodness. So does anyone
Yeah.
have any other questions on this side?
Yeah. If you guys want to ask any questions or if you just want a card pull,
Yeah, does
maybe you don't
anyone
have a
just want a
dream.
card pull before we jump into our next dream?
Yeah.
So I was pulling cards earlier just before. So before we do this, because normally I do my personal style of pulling cards is I'll do like a kind of like a prayer kind of a thing. And I was doing it, and I always ask for guidance to say the right things, or if I'm stuck to be given a little bit of guidance. And then I pulled a card because I'm not gonna lie, I always get really nervous before stuff like this. Like regardless of what it is, I get super nervous when I know that I'm gonna be live. And it's funny because I'm not actually facing anybody. It's literally I'm facing my screen right now, but I still get nervous. And the Two of Swords popped up, and it's about, like having to get through the fear of a situation or a fear of a choice. I'm like, okay, so.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny because I do the same thing. I pulled a card last night to ask what I need to know about today, and it just said trust your intuition. And I forget what card I pulled. It was the because mine's a dream deck, and so it was can't remember what it was called, the spirit of it might have been the Spirit of Pentacles because I pulled 2 cards. I think so.
Do you think that night terrors have deeper meaning like dreams do? Ooh. So wouldn't that be more? Yeah. What do you think of that?
Well, night terrors, 2 things. If it's are we talking about an adult or a child? And because night terror is usually something that happens with little kids and they can't even really tell you. They're just completely freaked out. My son had it one time and it was so bad. He was screaming for like 45 minutes and we couldn't calm him down. So, adult. So, I mean, that just means that there's something that's so bad going on for you in your mind that you're not working on, that you really should sit down and analyze what they mean, even though they're scary. You got to remember it is, and I hate to say it's just a dream because I know you're experiencing it, but it gives you an opportunity to go through the symbols and see what it is in your life that's bothering you so that you can get rid of those night terrors. There's also other things with night terrors. It could be like health issues and stuff. So I always tell people, go to the doctor, and tell them you're having a lot of nightmares and you get blood tests and stuff like that. Cause sometimes that does come up with children. There's illnesses and stuff.
Oh,
but usually it's just, there's things bothering you. Could be suppressed things that you've like pushed away for years. And it's just going to keep coming out. And
it kind of makes sense that it would come out like a night terror because that's more of an there's intensity that comes with the feelings and everything with that, right? So it would be something that really wants your attention to be brought to the surface, kind of. That makes sense anyway.
Well, and it's like there's, you have nightmares and then you have night terrors. And I mean, it depends, like if you have PTSD and stuff, it depends on what kind of medication you're taking, if you're taking any. But what was I going to say about that? I totally lost my train of thought. Oh gosh, it was important too. I'll remember it and I'll say it later. But oh my God, I'm so sad. I forgot what I was going to say. Maybe I'm not meant to say it. Okay. I don't know. But yeah, if you can write me with some of your dreams and I'll try to help you work through them.
That sounds phenomenal. Yeah, it's honestly being able to like break them down might actually really help in that situation.
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
So what is this?
Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Card for you then in a minute here.
Yeah. It's that when you have, boy, my brain's not working today. When you have a night terror, why does it keep going away? I just remembered it twice. Okay, it's not meant to be said. It's not meant to be said.
No? Okay. All right. Then we'll go with this not meant to be said. What is this? That's as I'm shuffling for Sandy. What is this from Sarah?
What about a kitty walking out a door
Oh.
or fear of a kitty getting out? This was one of the last things I remember from my dream last night. It sounds like a fear of losing your intuition.
Oh.
Too low a card pull.
All right, Sandy. I have for you the Ace of Cups. It is so weird because like everything's backwards. Ace of Cups. So for me, Ace of Cups, when I look at this, I'm instantly pulled to the dove at the top. So more of coming into new ideas from an emotional standpoint. I always think of too with this, my cup runneth over because of the water coming out of it. So you're going to have something coming into your life, kind of like sweep you off your feet or feel like it's flying in very quickly, where it's going to be very joyful for you, very heartfelt, very emotionally pleasing. This is always usually emotional starts, emotional beginnings, something that is very heartwarming. So I don't know if that's going to make any sense to you. I don't know if you have any, if you're trying to plan anything that might be more of an emotional or family project, but it's a good sign that it'll go well and that good things will come in for you for that. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it's a good card. I like that card. So with the Sarah Kitty dream, the cat, do cats in general, especially if it's a kitten, is there a specific meaning for cats, or is it?
Cats usually is femininity and intuition, but again, it depends. I mean, for somebody else, it could be something that they're afraid of. So,
Okay.
you know, they could, I mean, it could be, I have met people who are afraid of cats. So for them, it would be a negative thing. And then some people would say, you know, if it's a black cat, then it means danger or whatever. If it's a white cat, it's spiritual. So it just depends on, you know, what it means to you. But the general one is intuition. It always seems to work out in my dreams that it's intuition knowledge. So
That kind of makes sense, because isn't the whole the generalized aspect of cats is like they kind of have their feet in both worlds, like they kind of see things better than we can, right? Yeah.
I really think they can.
I believe that too, actually. Oh, good. I'm glad that makes sense. Oh, Sandy, I'm glad that touches home base for you. So should we do another card pull before we jump into the next
Yeah,
dream?
because while you pull some cards, I'm going to see if I can get my messenger to work so I can bring up the other dream.
I see. I think is Mallory. Is that who? I would love a card pull. Let's see if we can get something for you here, Mallory. Okay, I'm going to pull a second card because I need a little bit of validation for this one, and then I'll show you. Okay, so before I show you this card, no, it's not. It's not a bad card, I promise you. The Tower. So the Tower card is all about, it's kind of like calling you out on, you need to clear some of the, excuse my language here, but clearing the bullshit out of your life for you, basically pulling down all of the loose bricks and mortars that don't belong there, brushing them out of the way for you so that you have a really stable foundation to build your next steps upon. So while it looks super scary, and sometimes this comes more abruptly than what you're ready for, but it's always in the end a good thing. So kind of as the universe brings the energy of clearing to you, kind of try to roll with it as best as you can, so that way that it's not so hard. When you fight it, that's when it becomes the scary part of the tower. If you roll with it as much as you can, you start seeing, okay, this is why things are happening the way they are. And then you have the Lovers. So the Lovers is becoming, there's a couple meanings for the Lovers, especially with the Tower. This is reconnecting with yourself on a deeper level, learning what it is about you that you love, or the things that you want in your life. This is also connections with the people in your life. So if there's something with relationships that you're facing right now, this could be the rebuilding of a relationship or finding a new relationship, depending on what the very personal aspects of your own life are. But the fact that the Tower and then the Lovers card, it just means things are clearing. The path is being cleared for you for something really amazing in your life. So roll with it as best you can. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but I think that's a nice pull. I like that. So I can tell you a story for me anyway. So I went through a time period where I made some really poor life decisions. So we're just gonna put it
Haven't
down.
we all?
Yeah. And I had found myself in a situation where the very first time I really noticed that this card was coming out, where I had been engaged in, like, I kind of had like this predetermined way my life was going to go, and I wasn't digging it. And so like every time I would go to get a card reading, this card would come up like all the freaking time. And the last person I went to, it was the Tower and all these sword cards, and the person just looked at me like they looked like they were ready to cry. They're like, I don't like giving bad readings. I'm like, no, I actually know exactly what this is all about. It was basically the universe telling me, listen, you're making decisions that aren't happy. They're not making you happy. So throw all that out the door and figure yourself out. So when the Tower shows up, it is about just like letting what needs to fall away so that you can rebuild for, what you're meant to have, basically.
Right. Yeah. Because sometimes if you don't let something go, whether for whatever reason you're hanging on to it, there's no room for the new thing that was waiting to come in, and eventually it will move on without you, because I believe there's fate, but I believe you can miss fate too,
Absolutely. That's where when they say that humans have free will, there's a path, but you have the choice to not follow it. You have the choice to ignore it, and then Lord knows what the heck's going to happen to you, or you can follow a path to happiness. Yeah.
Or it could take you 25 years to get back to what you were meant to do in the first place with all these lessons to go through.
Yeah.
That's how I like to do things. Oh, Sam wants a card too.
All right, Sam, let's get you a card real quick. Sam,
and I did get the thing on my computer, so.
Oh, you did get it? Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, so we have the Hierophant and the Knight of Pentacles. So here's the Hierophant. Oh, where am I at? The Knight of Pentacles. So this could be you are at a moment where maybe it would be beneficial for you to seek guidance in the form of like a guru or someone. If you're a very spiritual person, this might be a time for connecting with someone to talk about your spirituality. There's something there that's pulling you from either like a belief system or just trying to find someone to guide you down a path towards like a mentorship almost. And the Knight of Pentacles would be, this is more of something that'll benefit you on a more of a materialistic, earthy. So like if there's like a project, the help and the guidance that you're going to get from the energy of the Hierophant, whether that be with whatever project you're doing or your spirituality or an intuition, is going to help guide you into something that'll be more of an earthly, materialistic. So a project, I don't know if you're moving into trying to do a different project in your life or something, but this is just kind of saying it'll benefit you to kind of seek someone to help teach you little things along the way that you can benefit yourself with. I don't know if that makes sense at all. That's what I'm getting from these. I don't know.
He's always working on projects.
What was that?
Sam's always working on big new projects. I've never seen anybody work on so many things and get so many videos out.
She does. I love her videos. I absolutely love them. So yeah, maybe this is something where she'll run into someone who she can use as like a teacher or a guru to kind of like a mentor, level her up to the next thing. Yeah.
Maybe like a new teacher or another student. Who knows? The mag. Oh, thanks. Yeah, this one. I don't know. Can you tell what it says?
What is this?
The message is in your dreams.
Is that from your store? From the Dream? Oh, I love that. So where can people find that?
So these mugs, there's two. There's this one and then the blue like celestial one, and there's pillows that go with them. You can find those on the terravitality.com website. And then I also have like on my Facebook, I have like different books and stuff that I find that I didn't write, but books that I love that I think are really good for others. I like bought some and then I put them up on the site that people can buy too. Not on the Tarot Vitality, but just on Facebook. You could
Oh, I
just
love
message
that.
me or look at them. Yeah. But the whole point of the mug was that a lot of people will get up in the morning, they had a weird dream. Like you wake up and you're like, well, that was a weird dream. And you're like, you know, and then you go and you're like making your coffee because you're just living your life. And so then you read that on the coffee mug and it's to inspire you. No, sit down with your coffee and write out that dream because it was important, you know. And the pillow's the same thing. You see the pillow right before you go to sleep at night, and it's to remind you, you know, to remember your dreams and write them down.
Oh, I love that.
I'm all into inspiration.
Nice, gentle reminders, and they're beautiful too.
Yeah, and pretty reminders. And they look nice.
I like that. So were you able to pull up that dream then?
Yeah, I did. So I got the dream. I had my phone. I don't know. The Conjuring House killed my phone, even though I wasn't there and it won't work. But I have it here. So, and I asked him. He said it's okay. So Austin Engel, hope I said that right, sent this dream, and so it says, it was during the double Estes we did. I was outside my body and I could see everything. I could see all of us sitting in the room, but I could also see Abigail. She introduced herself to me. And then I saw Lorraine Warren there as well. I began walking around the house and it seemed as if time was in a super slow motion. I then began walking to the upstairs through the stairwell above the main basement door. And I came across a man sitting on the bed in the room above the seance room, just crying. I've never felt such strong feelings before, but I continued on through that room that looks like a closet kind of. And that's where everything went black. And I heard clap, clap, wake up in a faint whisper. And then I woke up. So let's see, now I can find my screen here. So I love that dream because it's really interesting. And was he there? Were you there? I don't know if he's watching right now.
He was there.
He was there. Okay. So that's interesting to me because there's just something about that house that seems, in my opinion, of all the haunted locations I've heard of, it seems like a house of messages. Everybody who talks about it, it's about pulling books and getting messages, seeing things that are messages. So it's all about messages. So it only makes sense that it would come to you in dreams somehow and connect with you that way, especially if you're somebody who maybe, I feel like some people, they're very intuitive in their dreams because it's like they let loose a little bit, where as opposed to like just being in your waking life, you might, you know, not accept things, messages that are coming.
Kind of fight it a little bit.
Yeah. So
recorded clap that night, but he did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, see? And that's what my question was. I feel like, was this a paranormal connection to the house or was it a dream? I don't know. Because like I said, that house has very interesting connections to people. But so either way, I feel like the analysis, whether the message is paranormal or if it's just from within, it'll have, you know, it's the same meaning. And let's see, I wrote this down twice, so I hope this was the right one. Let me see. Oh, here it was. Okay. So an out-of-body experience in the dream, and he was observing everything. So that was his words. He was observing everything. So basically this situation has him looking at everything. It could be every aspect of his life, everyone else's life, since he mentions other people. So he's really in an observation mode. Abigail introducing herself. So something is introducing themselves to you. When I asked him what she and Lorraine represented, he said the seance room. So I don't know what meaning that has because I haven't been there. And I don't know if that was like his first seance or if there was something he saw in the seance room, like how that connects. But obviously something is trying to be introduced to him. So it could be something paranormal or it could be something that's coming from within. walking around the house, exploring new aspects. The fact that, and so a house always represents ourselves, even if it's a different house, it's just a different way of seeing ourselves because it's still a house. And the fact that it was in slow motion, I felt like that meant that he was either supposed to like observe something. So if he can go back and revisualize exactly what he saw during that moment, or it was him just trying to process, like what's happening. It could go either way for me. And then the man crying. Now, I feel like the man could be a spirit. I don't know. But usually in dreams, it's an aspect of himself that's very emotional about something. And being that he walked past the man emotional and went to what looked like a closet, or they were in a closet, that's hidden things. So the whole experience could be drawing out things that he's hidden from himself, maybe things he didn't even know that he felt, that it's pulling that out, and it caused like great emotion. Not necessarily crying, but the crying represented emotion. So it could just be strong emotions in general. And then the fact that everything went all black towards the end, that means he's just going deep into his subconscious. That means you've gotten to your subconscious now, and you'll get a lot more dreams and messages because of that. The whole clap thing, though, that freaked me out. That gives me chills just thinking about it. But I mean, your own mind can do that too. Like the subconscious could be like, okay, that's enough. We're done for today. Clap, we're over. But I thought that was such an amazing dream. So interesting.
That's a very deep dream, I think, too. Absolutely. So I pulled a few cards while you were discussing this. So when they went into, like in the beginning, when you were going through, I got the King of Swords. And for some reason with this one, so swords are more of your intellectual, your thought-based. So this is kind of, it's almost like maybe the dream was giving him something where he's going to be able to master some aspect of himself through transformation. I don't know if you can see this. There's a butterfly at the top of the card. That's where I kept getting drawn to with this card. Usually it's like everything else. I usually don't focus on the butterfly, but butterflies being a transformative, they're the very, a symbol of transformation, of coming into something new. So maybe this is a way for his thoughts, or trying to show him to look at something, maybe an aspect of himself with his thought process. He's a little bit different. And then when we were talking about he's observing the house, I pulled the Five of Pentacles. So this is always a card of feeling like you're on the outs, or being on the outside looking in. Which if he felt like he was observing everything, that makes sense for this one. And then I also got Ace of Wands, but then I didn't feel like I got the normal pull for this one for myself. So this is more of taking action in a different form, more of having, so like I couldn't figure out, like I wanted to say it was taking action on a thought-based process, but usually that would be like swords, but I was getting that with this. So I pulled another card, and it was the Page of Cups. And this is more of like fresh emotions, or like something new that's coming out of an emotional state, which would make sense if even like the dream itself was more of like there was something hidden that's trying to get out or being expressed, right? So that would make sense that there's some new aspect of an emotional, that some emotional part of him that is either going to come out, or there's going to be something fresh that helps him see a different viewpoint. I don't know if that makes sense at all.
No, it does. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely the whole point was that the house inspired some kind of thought process, that there was something hidden, and it was very emotional.
Right. Which that all kind of leads together then too.
See how that works? Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. That's funny because I've had 2 experiences now at the house, and the first one didn't really have it didn't really hit me, but I also don't think I was with necessarily like the right crew for not the right crew. Wow, that came out so horrible. The right grouping of energies for that to like, let myself be vulnerable enough, right?
Yeah.
So this time I was in a mindset where I was allowing myself to be a little bit more vulnerable, and it did, like it makes you look at things differently afterwards. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, that place, I'm telling you, there's just something about it that someday I'm going to have to go out there, like Sarah said, and sleep in it and see what happens.
It's a very special place. It's like, I feel like there's, and I don't feel like that's the only place out there. I feel like there are definitely multiple places, probably many more than I even realized, where it's just a location where people go to where the energies are just right. Or maybe, I don't know if you believe in vortexes, whatever the energies between, you know, the universe and earth kind of just hit just right. So it allows you to be vulnerable enough, and you get your intuition's kind of peaked. So a lot of times I feel like it's almost messages from yourself or your guides or whatever, not necessarily
definitely.
that it's a haunting. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think especially with that house, it's just
Yeah,
interesting. And I don't know if it's
absolutely.
that the spirit world and guides are able to appear, or if it's just something like that's why I was asking about the land. I'm like, there's got to be something about that land because it's
Yeah.
just so, I've never heard of anything like that. Yeah, tomorrow I'm excited about this guest. She does the pictures. I guess you just sit down with her and she just looks at you and draws like a picture, not knowing anything. And it
That's
always looks like somebody that you
exciting.
know or something. I find that fascinating.
Oh, I love that. That's a beautiful, it's not even just a talent. That's a gift. Like that's,
Oh, definitely,
yeah.
right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Is she going to draw something for us tomorrow, Sarah? Do we know?
Ooh. Oh, that would be fun.
Right? It's too bad you can't ask. I would love to know. I would love someone to draw a picture of my spirit guide.
Ooh. Oh, did you ever see the was it that Cindy Kaza or Kasa, however you say her last name? Oh, I butcher it every
Yep.
time. She does spirit drawings. Like she'll draw spirit
That's
guides. I don't know if you've ever seen her do that.
No, I didn't know
Oh,
that.
yeah, I love
Oh,
watching her on TV. So any of the shows that she's on, she'll like, and then every now and then she does like a spirit guide drawing, and I'm like, I want that. Like I would love to
yeah,
be able to see what my spirit guides look like.
right? That would be very cool. She believes it's a possibility. Okay, cool.
Ooh, good. Oh, that'll be exciting. I
Yeah.
can't wait. So that's tomorrow?
Tomorrow at I was gonna say 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern. Cool.
Bingo. He doesn't like my sweater. He's trying to pull my sweater off.
Oh no.
Oh.
All
So do
right.
we
Well,
hey. So what on the side? You people. Wow. Have you beautiful souls on the side? Have you ever been to a location where you felt like it was calling out to you personally, to you on a spiritual level, not so much the haunting itself? I'd love to know. And if that was something that
yeah.
helped you spark something with your intuition.
You know what? That's a really good question because I always feel drawn to Old Town San Diego,
Ooh.
and I have had some interesting things happen there. But yeah. Oh, Mid
Mid
Orange. Huh.
Orange, a lot of people. I was shocked to hear all the stories that have been coming out of things happening with people at Mid Orange.
Yeah.
It's
Me too.
it's an amazing location, and it's one of those places where I don't necessarily scare super easy, but there were a lot of times there that I felt uneasy enough where I'm like, I don't want to be alone, and I'm always that one that like, oh yeah, I'll walk off alone, no problem.
Right. Yeah.
There.
It's just that unease, and it's not fear. It's almost, there's like fear, and then there's that bad uneasy feeling that's not fear, but it's like it's almost like your intuition letting you know that you don't need to be here.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like just for your own good and your own protection, don't go
Yeah.
down that hallway.
Yeah.
Because Howard, let's see. Oh, Sarah wants a card pull?
Yeah. I was just reading this card.
Yeah. Cujo's trying to get rid of this sweater. All right, let's pull a card for Sarah. Miss Sarah Jane. Hope you're feeling better, Sarah. I was talking to her earlier. She was saying that she had a cold. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm one of those.
Somebody on the plane was coughing and sneezing next to her.
Yes. And
That
then
would
it's
make
kind
me
of like,
so mad.
you can't get away from it. Then you're stuck
Right?
with them. Let me pull a clarification card here. Okay. So I always have to count them. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. You would think I would know this by now. Okay. So 6 of Swords, right? So this card, I don't know if you can see, but there's rough water on one side and clear water on the other side. And you're moving through it. So what this card is saying is you're coming out of a rougher time in your life and you're moving on to calmer waters. You're moving into a better situation for yourself, for your mindset, for your physical being. And I kind of wanted something to clarify for this just a little bit, because this could mean anything. And I don't know, the personal background on this at all. So it's like, let me just, something to help me. Is this more mental? Is this more physical? And so I got High Priestess, and that is tapping into the intuition side, the femininity, that goddess vibe, which is, I don't know if anyone else has talked to Sarah, but she's very big with the femininity and the goddess vibes of things. And
Yeah.
this is so if there was any kind of block, or I don't know, any kind of anything that was stopping you from feeling your normal self, your normal happy goddess self, it's leaving. You're going to go back into this amazing high vibrational situation. So you are leaving the yuckies behind and you are coming into something beautiful. Does that make sense at all?
It does. And think about her dream. The last dream, she said she remembers the last part of her dream was about the kittens and intuition. So
okay, well, there we
I'm
go.
worried about losing it or it getting out.
Yes, this could be all about leaving the fog from everything that happened at the house, at the farmhouse, like leaving whatever had you feeling like you were in that bubble of like not being able to figure things out. This is now going to be moving out of your situation, and you're going to be clear-headed again, and you're going to be able to tap into your intuition without second guessing yourself. I think it's a really good card pull.
Yeah, it is. I love that. See, Rachel, I don't know if she's next. It says, I would love a card pull too.
Ooh. Okay, let's see. Rachel. Oh, and she's going to be sending you a dream, Dee Dee.
Oh, cool. Okay.
One more card. Sorry, Rach, you're getting 3. Okay, so you have Page of Cups, which this is some new aspect. So this could be anything to do with your emotions, with something new, a new invitation, a new part of yourself being awoken that is more like that childlike wonder, that just the excitement for life on an emotional level. And in doing so, you have the 5 of Cups here, but okay, so you can see like the 2 cups on the side. This card's going to help you realize that whatever situation you've been going through is not as bad as it seems, because there is so much more still going on. You still have those 2 cups behind you in this card. So it's telling you that, yes, you may have gone through a time of grieving. You may have gone through a time of maybe feeling like you've lost something, but you're going to realize that I still have a lot going on for me. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's a castle in the background, which always means as soon as you realize all is not lost, you're moving on to a really fortunate situation. And the King of Pentacles is basically, this is more of a grounded, this is a very earthbound, contentment with life, with your situation, with even anything on the physical plane, be that materialistic or just feeling like you're on sturdy ground again. So whatever is about to happen with the energies flowing in, it's going to help you realize that your situation is getting better. Let the universe bring you to where it needs to be. I don't know if that makes sense for you at all, Rachel.
I love that. Oh,
so
I like this. Mark Brown says, I've never had a card pull, so let's do this one. How about that?
Okay, yeah, let's do this. Hey, Mark, I saw you post your the picture of your shirt from the Black Tea Society. It looks awesome, man. I'm glad you got it. Okay.
I don't know if you saw it, but Rachel said it absolutely does.
Oh, good. I'm glad. That it always makes me feel better when it makes sense, because you don't know anyone's background when you're pulling these cards. You're like, I'm just gonna say what I'm seeing. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, you want to know that you're helping,
right?
Or making sense.
Well, that card jumped. Oh, okay.
Love jumpers.
So Seven of Cups. So Seven of Cups is going to be, you're either right now or you're soon going to be feeling like you have a lot of options being presented to you. And this could be a little bit overwhelming. If you could see like there's a lot of choices there and not all of them are necessarily probably going to be great for this individual on this card. So it's also warning you that it's a good time to maybe choose from your heart center so that you don't choose something that's just based on temptation that'll hurt you later. So really just taking the time to slow down, looking at all of your options, but not necessarily needing to run to every single one of them. Let your heart guide you here. The right options will show themselves. Whatever you do decide will be the right decision, and it'll set you on a new path, or it'll be a new adventure, something fresh for you that's going to make you feel good about your life. And happy that you did make the right decision. I don't know if that makes sense.
I love that you got to do his first card pull.
I know. That's so awesome. That's an honor. Thank you for letting me do that for you. So we have a couple more card pulls here then.
Yeah.
And then, okay, let's see. Who was next after Mark? I don't want to lose anybody here. Oh, good, Mark. I'm glad that fits. Let's see. So Mary Ruth and then Stacy. Am I going to pull a card for Stacy? That's an honor. Okay. All right, Mary Ruth. Let's see what we can do for you, hon. Okay. Okay, this makes sense now. All right, so you have the Five of Swords and then the Six of, so Five of Swords looks like this. Ooh. So in this card, this could mean that you are either just coming out of or are in the middle of in a situation where you're not necessarily going to feel great about it, that you may have to walk away from something and it may not be how you envisioned it going. I don't like almost like a disappointment. Like, I don't know if you can see the people in the background, they're walking away like they're defeated. And I know the guy in the foreground, I don't know if you can see his face. It's very menacing, kind of like he kind of did you dirty kind of a thing, right? But the thing is, don't let this stop you. Walk away from what I got from this is walk away from what's not serving you in your life right now. There's no reason to hang on to something if it's going to hurt you. So let it go. Let that person who's being manipulative, whatever is going on with that, you let it go. You walk away. And the second you walk away from a situation that's not meant for you is the second that you have a victory for yourself. So I can see the victory wreath on here, and it's kind of like a homecoming parade, like someone's found the victory within themselves, and it's kind of celebrating making that right choice to walk away from what's not fitting so that the universe can put you on the right path. I don't know if that makes sense at all. If that's still cloudy, let me know. I'll pull another card for you. But this is just basically about letting go what no longer serves. And as soon as you do, you're going to be on the right path, and you're going to see just how amazing letting go was for you. Well, you're very welcome. All right. One for... Okay, let's do one for Stacy, and then should we jump into one of, I think we both had a dream interpretation then too. I don't know if we want to jump into them after the card. Sure. Just had cards jump.
Oh.
All right, we're going to keep that one. Get some clarification on this. This is a random side thought, but if anyone's been, if you've ever had a moment where you needed like vindication for something, or to be, not having to like prove that you're right, but just like a self moment of just needing the universe to be like, bro, you all right? That's coming your way. It's not part of your pull, but Judgment did jump with the other card that I'm using. Okay, so you have Six of Cups, which is usually a card of like nostalgia or like reconnecting with something from your past. I don't know if that's going to make sense at all, or finding like running into someone from your past, or some form of just familiarity, and it's going to be kind of emotionally attached because of the cups, and that is going to lead into some form of heightened intuition, or being able to tap into something a little bit deeper, or getting answers for something that you could only get through your higher self, or for you, Stacey, from your dead, or anything on those lines. That it's going to be an emotional, it's going to be whatever is coming out of running into this person, or maybe some aspect of yourself. So pay attention to your dreams, because maybe it could be something from your past is going to influence your future in a really intuitive, beautifully emotional way. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's coming your way, man.
That's cool. I love your card pulls.
Yo,
I'm learning a lot just watching too.
I literally, I think I talked about this last time. I absolutely do not go by the book. Like, I used to always try to like memorize the book.
Right. Yeah.
78 cards. There's no way. My brain doesn't work that way. I can't do it. So it's literally just like reading whatever the picture is, and like whatever's hitting me at the moment as I'm reading the picture. Yeah.
Yeah. Which for me is more real, because then it's more personalized, because it's just like the dream symbols. It could mean something different for a different person.
Yeah, it really could. I love how similar they are in that aspect. Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you too, Stacey.
That's fun to get something from the past that inspires your intuition.
Yes.
Looks like Rob wants one.
All right, we're going to pull a card for Rob before we jump into the next dream interpretation. Here we go. Okay. Let's pull one other card. I love it. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck, actually. Oh, did you see that hop?
Yeah.
Ooh. All right, one more card to verify that one. Okay. So the universe has a plan for you. So you have, I think it's 4 cards. All right. So we have the 8 of Wands, which is honestly my favorite card in the deck, because this is literally where all of the effort, all of the time that you've put into something, like the universe has your back on this card. So it is literally moving all of your obstacles so that everything can fall into place exactly how it needs to for you. And the way that you're going to get that is by the moon. So the moon here for me is always a card of emotion. It is sitting with what is it that's bothering you that maybe you're not giving the attention to, right? So looking at that, what is it? What would it take for you to feel like you're at rock bottom? If that's something that you're worried about, like let that sit with that for a couple of days. And let that have the breathing room to air itself out and go away, because it's not something that you actually need to worry about. It's not actually going to happen for you. The Queen of Swords is saying that, it's all about balancing out the thought processes, finding that balance between your heart and your mind, and letting go of what needs to be let go of. There's more of like an intuitive side of your thought process here. So let that flow, because the universe has your back, man. Things are falling into place now that you would not have suspected were going to fall into place. So like the next couple of days, you're going to get some really off the wall messages. Oh, okay. You really are. I don't know why this just pulled me. I don't know if you can see this. There is this tiny little itty bitty bird that has been pulling my attention. So it means messages are going to be coming. Things are being delivered to you. So just keep open mind, open heart. Big things are coming your way, man.
Wow, love that.
Any kind of sense, but that's phenomenal. I usually never see that little bird, so
yeah,
messages are on the way to you.
See, I love how the card speaks to you differently for different.
I could pull the same card, and it could have like, depending on the situation or who I'm pulling for, it means something completely different.
Yeah. I love that. All right. So, do you want to tell your dream? And then I'll just tell you what I think it means.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me see if I can remember. If I miss anything, because it was, so I had this dream and it was like the first time I had a dream for a while. So I was excited, like quick wrote it down, and it's been fading ever since. But a lot of it had, and so a lot of it had to do with this weird thing where my parents' home office turned into a shower. I don't understand how this works. But so I was in this space with a lot of different people, which honestly, I couldn't even tell you that any of them I could recognize in my waking. I don't know anybody from the dream, but during the dream, they felt very familiar to me, as though I just was around them all the time. And we were in this house, but it was almost like a dormitory kind of a thing, because it was kind of like a home meets warehouse situation where there were different levels and staircases and stuff. So we were all together in this one common room, and we were talking about going out. And I know during the dream, there was a specifics. I don't remember for the life of me where we were going, but we all decided we needed to get ready for it. So we all went our own ways to get ready for whatever it was we were going to be doing. And I went up a flight of stairs to a bathroom, but the bathroom itself was occupied. So I decided, okay. And I went down a completely different flight of stairs, and somehow ended up in, which would be my parents' home office, but it was also kind of morphing into a shower room kind of a thing. So there was a shower head that was coming out of the wall above their office, the desk area, and it's just this weird mashup of the two. And so I was like, all right, whatever. Like it didn't really dawn on me at that moment. I went to close the door to get ready for my shower, and the door opened itself again. And I was like, all right, that's a little weird. So I went to go close the door again, and I noticed that so my parents' house, the home office opens into a kitchen. And this kitchen kind of looked like theirs, but also kind of didn't. But there were people getting ready for like a business holiday get together banquet kind of a thing. There were like hors d'oeuvres set out on the one side table on like the island, and just people were like baking and cooking. And then there were these people from my day job, and they were like kind of like high ranking people that were coming to me saying that they needed assistance with like place setting, like just getting different things together for this banquet. And I was like, this is really odd. So I went to close the door on them to get the shower, because I'm like, I'm supposed to be getting ready to go out with these people. So I closed the door on them, go to get my shower again, and the door reopens. Like it was weird. So like I kept having to go close the door again. And then I finally went to go take the shower. Like everything had been there that I was going to need for a shower. But when I finally was able to do it, like the soap was gone, like things that I would absolutely need to get ready were missing. So then like as I'm doing my thing, taking my shower, the director for the place that I work for during the day, he opens the door, right? And he's talking to me that he needs help with something with the banquet, and also that my registration needs renewed. And it kind of was slightly irritating, but like it didn't dawn on me like it didn't seem weird that he walked in while I was shot. Like in the dream, I wasn't upset about it. It was just like irritated that he was like disrupting me having to get ready. So like as that was all going on towards the end of the dream, for some reason I noticed, before that, I was done with the shower, needed deodorant, and I didn't like, there wasn't a deodorant already being used. So I had to get a new deodorant, but it was in this container of 3 different deodorants. So I had to take a new one out and use that. And then right at the end of the dream, before I woke up there, I noticed as I was talking to people, there was like this shelf on the side wall, and there were 3 tin birdhouses, and it was a brown birdhouse, a gray birdhouse, and then another brown birdhouse. And it was just really weird. So like that was the dream. But like one aspect that not everybody knows is I'm estranged from my parents. I don't talk to them. I haven't talked to them in like over a year now. So it was just really odd to me that I'd have even anything from my parents' house come up in a dream. And also, like, why would I have higher ranking individuals from my day job showing up while I'm trying to get ready to go out? And I don't even understand the whole banquet, like a holiday banquet. I don't even understand that part, like at all. Like it made no sense to me. So I woke up saying WTF and like quick scribbled it all down so I could let Dee Dee know, because I have no idea.
And it was great recall for like, you have been able to remember dreams for so long, and then you were able to have like a full, like it wasn't just like a little piece of a dream, it was the whole thing, and it has so much going on. the one thing I could say to you is that you have the home office and then you also have people from your work. So I
Mhm.
took that it could be that you need to work on something for yourself because it kind of like it's been
Mm.
mentioned twice in your dream, like work oriented stuff.
Mhm.
Um, so my analysis is I said you need to cleanse or remove something from your life to work on yourself and create security and balance. And it can be a thought or a point of view. And so the deodorant is you're trying to mask something because you're not able to shower is cleansing. You're not able to cleanse yourself or rid yourself of whatever this
Right.
is that's holding you back from being able to work on yourself, like level up maybe.
Mm.
Um, and so the deodorant is masking. So what you're doing is you're just grabbing a deodorant to mask something and just keep moving forward without cleansing or getting rid of whatever it is, right? It's like a quick
Oh,
fix, right?
okay.
Um, I took the banquet to be okay. So the banquet is, you would go and be nourished, but also it's a celebration. So I felt like it was a message for you that you need that nourishment, but also to celebrate your accomplishments because they kept coming in again and again, work people, especially high up people. And it
Yeah.
didn't sound like they were trying to include you. They weren't saying anything bad to you. They were like, come
No.
help us, come work with us.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was that meaning. And then I didn't know, what does your parents' office mean to you? Is there something about that office that, and you don't even have to answer now, but like think about it, later. Is there something about that office besides
I know
just
there was a
being?
lot of that was one of those rooms where a lot of so it used to be my father at one point was a photographer and that was his dark room. So it changed from being a dark room to their home office, but it was a lot of it would have been like a lot of strife, a lot of arguments would have happened there too. So maybe just maybe that whole like a friction, it's like a room of like a I don't know, it's not
Oh,
a fun feeling room for me. Like when I would be
okay.
there, it wouldn't be a room that I would necessarily enjoy, but it's also been a room where there's been a lot of transformation because at one point it was an open air porch, and then from there it was closed in, turned into a dark room, and then from there it turned into a home office.
Okay.
So
So then if it's like your first thought about it is besides its functions is that it was an
mhm.
area where there was strife or negativity.
Mhm.
So you're trying to get rid of negativity. So that symbolizes
Okay.
negativity because
Oh
those are
wow,
your
and
words,
like
right?
the fact that there's like the whole like the shower, like it's
Yeah.
trying to like turn
You're trying to
itself
cleanse
into
yourself
a
of
shower.
that
Yeah.
thought
Oh my
process.
gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's
Um,
huge.
yeah.
That's huge.
And then the three birdhouses. Okay. So three is harmony. And then I put what have you neglected from within for yourself?
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's a big one.
And then I pulled a card too, but I'm curious to see if the cards we each pull kind of go together. And I feel like there was something else. Oh yeah, so the reason I came up with you're looking for security and balance is the bird cages. That's what they represented. It was the three, and then the colors also were about security and balance. So that kind
Oh, was
of the
it?
number and the colors work together for that part of the message.
Okay.
But I mean, I could tell you, do you want, well, I'll let you pull the card first and then I'll tell you what I
Yeah.
pulled.
I do have a question with it just because it's not something I talk to everybody about all the time, so not everyone would know, but the whole being estranged has helped me find deeper levels of myself. And could this be like a continuation of like I need to do some deeper work than I have been doing to I don't know, because of the balance thing like that really
Yeah.
strikes
And
me.
maybe you have to, if you can't resolve it with your parents at this point,
Hmm.
but you have to be able to resolve it within yourself so that you don't hold on to that negative aspect because it hurts
Right.
you. You know what I mean? And you maybe in the future you'll work it out with them. It could be either. It could be that maybe you're ready to face whatever happened, either that for you physically with them or emotionally for you, you know?
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So I pulled three cards for myself while we're just while we were talking because I didn't want to focus too much. But Knight of Wands. So ideals, movement, more of a ideals in more of like a physical sense, but also of growth too. Because I don't know if you can see like there's little like the branch is
Yeah.
growing things. So movement
Mhm.
and growth in some aspects. Um, both of these. So I have the Six of Pentacles. Wow, Danny. Six of Pentacles and Temperance. So this could be, Pentacles could be finding that balance for grounding, for the balance of give and take, of charity, and for helping yourself, and making sure that you're able, like you're secure enough to be able to give to others. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And then Temperance is finding, oops, it's about finding that it's almost more of like a spiritual balance, kind of. I don't know if you can see it, but like the one foot in the water, one foot on the ground. So like
Yeah.
finding like almost like an inner spiritual balance,
Yeah.
of just like finding that flow. So
Right.
which makes sense with what you're saying, like the
Yeah.
having to like let go of the negativity and to find the
Yeah.
balance. And, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. I love that.
I like that too.
And the
Thank
one I pulled
you.
was Spirit of Wands, which I got was truth, shining light on what is painful, wisdom
Okay.
from within, sit in the still. So kind of
Which
sit
makes sense.
with
Kind of like
it.
sit with it, and like whatever needs to be purged, purge it, and whatever needs
Yeah.
to be. I like
Yeah.
that. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. That actually
You're
makes
welcome.
so much more sense now. Thank
Yeah.
you. I love that. Mecca's here. What's up, man? Oh, Sarah, thank you. She's putting up the divination with Danny site. But yeah, it's amazing how your dreams really do talk to you. Like,
Yeah.
those are things where like I kind of know that's like, it's weird because like
Right.
I kind of know that stuff's in the background, but like in
Right.
the day to day, it's not
Right.
something that I want to like pull out and lay on the table and look at all the time. You
Right.
know
You don't
what I
want to think
mean?
about it. Yeah.
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 So,
Totally. I mean, it's all coming from us. So it's just a matter of pulling it out.
it really is a dialect between yourself and your subconscious. It
Yeah.
really, yeah. Oh, I
Which,
love
if
that.
you really think about that, I think of it as someone who's our subconscious is there to help us because it's also us. So, of course, our subconscious wants us to be the best we can be, have the best life we can have. Like it's our truest, selfless best friend, right? Because
It
it
really
does
is.
only want the best for us because we are one, but our
Right.
conscious, our waking self, latches onto the negativity and has all these fears and thoughts and what ifs and all that. But the subconscious is more like, this is how it really is,
Yeah.
and we
The
need that.
subconscious doesn't really have like, and when I say ego, I don't mean it as in like, oh, like just your ego self is like that. It kind of blocks you sometimes from seeing things the way
Right.
they truly are, whereas your subconscious probably does see them very clear. Like
Yeah.
this is what's going on. Like,
Yeah. This is what's happening. Here's the message. And most people are just like, that was a really weird dream and I have no idea.
yeah, but wow, like even just like the fact of the birdhouses, like it was weird. Like it was a very pronounced thing that I remembered, but I
Yeah.
couldn't have told you why the heck those
Yeah.
birdhouses were there, but they were there. So,
Yeah. And it's just
oh
an odd
man.
thing. Like it's just an odd thing, the shower coming out of the wall. And so that's why people get tripped up on it because it's just like, this makes no sense.
Oh yeah, I was like, of all places for there to be a shower, like why would that be turning into a shower? But no, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
It does.
Let's see. He says, Mecca says, dreams are very interesting in revealing what the subconscious is working through. The symbolism can be hard to catch on the first run.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to sit with them. You got to put some time and journal and,
That's where journaling would become such a useful tool because you could even like, could you hit on something where like for some reason you remember something that happened like a couple nights ago? So then if you're journaling it, you can be like, oh wait, let me go
yeah.
see what the heck that really
And
was.
yeah, a lot of times you'll journal stuff and like for the whole week, it'll be all different dreams, but you'll realize it's the same topic being presented to you in different ways because you're not getting it. So your subconscious will be like, okay, well, let's try this version and see what you think.
Okay, that makes sense. Like it's just going to rephrase it until you catch it. Like,
Right. Just like we were trying to explain something to somebody, you tell them one
yeah,
way and they didn't get it. So then you show them another way.
it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild. So I want to know from the side, who else has weird dreams about things turning into bathrooms? Like, is this, I feel like bathrooms are a reoccurring thing for me in dreams. Like, I
Yeah.
think I've asked you about bathrooms before. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's cleansing and purging.
Which makes sense for me. My gosh. Lots of stuff just from like just the path that I've been on is about like learning to let things go, learning to just go with the flow of things, and cleansing would be letting go, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. Yeah. And then
absolutely.
you have the power to do it. And I like the shower better than like the toilets. The toilets are like, those are the worst dreams.
Oh, I've had some dreams of like some really gnarly bathroom scenes, and I'm like, oh, I'd wake up like that's like
Right?
why, dude? Like
Yeah.
why?
Why are there no doors? Why is it a dirt floor? Why are they all dirty? Who are all these other
Yes.
people in the bathroom?
It's crazy. But like when you talk, like when you break it down, it does make sense about like
Yeah.
excelling, about letting go, about cleansing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. So no one else on the side has dreams about bathrooms, really, guys?
I know, right? Come on, you know you do. That's a common one. That's a
Is
super common one. Yeah.
it? What does this say? Wake myself up when I do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And that's what they always say. If you wake up and you actually have to go to the bathroom, the reason they were all dirty and stuff is because your mind is trying to wake you up. Like you got to go to the bathroom. So 100%.
Right. Okay, good. See, I'm not the only one, Sarah. I feel that.
Well, I could tell you my dream. If does anybody have any questions or want card pulls, I can tell you my dream before we wrap up. And because I'm really curious to see what you pull for a card.
Ooh, yes.
So my dream, I was, and it's become a repetitive dream for me now. And I wanted to go back to the green Victorian house repetitive dream, but my
Ooh.
subconscious decided that a ghost town would be a better dream symbol for me. So I keep going to a ghost town. This is now the third one where I'm at the same place, and I'm like, okay, and it's almost exactly the same, but different people are driving the vehicle, and different things are happening at the restaurant. But it's the same thing. So this one last night I had. I was standing like on a mountain. It was like a cliff, a shelf. So I'm with the mountain behind me, just like a plain gray rock, and I'm on the cliff. And there's to the left of me was where I came from. To the right is a straight drop cliff, and in front of me is a straight drop cliff, and it's not very wide. And four old ladies pull up in like one of those tour like cart things that you drive around when you're on a tour, kind of like a golf cart type of thing, and they pull in real fast. And the one lady's like raring to go, really aggressive. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I'm not going in that. They're going to go off the cliff. But the next thing I know, I'm in it. And I'm like, well, I guess we're going. And so we start to go off the cliff, only we just go down to like another lower level. So we didn't go off a cliff. And then we keep making all these turns and going around, and we end up down at the bottom. And I'm in a restaurant. And again, this restaurant is the same restaurant that I've had in the prior dreams. And this time I'm carrying a sandwich in my hand, but I feel like it's a sandwich I've been carrying for a long time. It's not like probably edible anymore. And so there had been other sandwiches there to eat, but I'm like, well, I already have a sandwich, so I'm not going to take one. But then I'm like, well, I do want a drink. So when I went up there was like those kind of thermoses where you get drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
But all the cups were like, there's a couple of cups that were thrown over like dirty, and then another dirty cup. So there was no clean cups. And so then I was like sad and really disappointed because I was thirsty. I wanted the drink, you know? So first I was like, well, this is just like the other dream I had, only in the prior one, my husband was driving and it was a car, but it was actually that same cliff.
Oh.
And same thing. We were going down, making the same turns and stuff. And then we ended up in the restaurant. I didn't have any food at all, but a guy came and sat down across from me, and he had brought his own sandwich and food. So it's the same thing. It's the sandwiches, the food. It's a cool old Western town. So let's see. What did I say? So the empty cup is disappointment, since everyone else got one and I felt left out. The dirty cups are negativity. So that would be my own negativity. I'm looking at the fact that there's just dirty cups instead of like what I should have been doing is asking, does anybody have a cup? Where can I find clean cups? But I just was like, I like gave up. Oh, dirty cups, you know, so that's negativity. The golf cart, someone else is in the driver's seat. So I'm unwilling to do something and I'm letting other things drive my path instead of like standing up and making my choices. This is all about laziness too. I always feel like my biggest faults are laziness and negativity. And it comes up in my dream to remind me, because, and I mean, we all are to a degree. There's things that we have to do and maybe we don't,
I put things off constantly.
Yeah.
All the time.
The fact that I was on a tour, which I didn't mention, but in the beginning I was actually on a tour, was that I feel that I need guidance. So I can't do the tour myself. I feel like somebody needs to help me. The restaurant is me trying to find like nutrition, understanding through others, but I always bring my own food. I have my own food, so I'm looking for guidance, but I already know. So my subconscious is letting me know you have the information within. You just need to, I guess, eat your own sandwich. Driving off the cliff. This is now repetitive, means something else is driving my path, which I said. I'm always disappointed, but yet I'm conquering fear at the same time because I was afraid, and then I'm realizing it's fine, so maybe it's a process I have to go through. And then the 4 came up because there was the 4 old ladies. So 4 is doing things with a strong foundation and calculated manner. I need to journal what part of my foundation needs reinforcement. So I need to figure out what's making me unstable for, choosing my own path or whatever I'm trying to do. So I need to take control of things. I think stress is what drives that car. I think that the old lady or my husband, whoever's driving, it's stress that I'm allowing to drive my choices, right? And so I need to figure out, basically what's causing my stress, make a solid foundation and not let, stress be what's guiding me, because that's a bad thing to let guide you. So I'd be curious to see what your cards say about that.
So I pulled a few cards while you were telling your dream. So there was this moment where there was the 4 of Cups here, and 4 of Cups is just discontentment, not feeling like, not liking what your choices are, just feeling like, stalemate, just you don't want what's in front of you kind of a situation, not being content with what you're being provided. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is that, 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. 8 of Swords. So with this one, you're stopping yourself. You're holding yourself back in some form with either fear or, I guess like not feeling worthy enough to move forward. Like it's basically fear. You're holding yourself back from achieving things on some level based on either not wanting to face something or there's some form of holding yourself back. But all of this is saying that too, it is literally a mindset. So a new mindset will come through, which will help you move things into place. So you have your Page of Swords, which is like the bringer of a new thought process, the wiping clean of an old process and bringing in those new thoughts that are going to trigger things falling into place for you with the 8 of Wands.
I love that.
Does that make sense now?
It totally makes sense, because that's pretty much what the dream is saying, is that I'm holding myself back, which I've had that symbol many times come up in dreams. And that, the fact that I went anyways, and it showed me that even though I was terrified and thought I was going to die, I didn't, which is the same thing as what the card's saying. You have to move through that process. Yeah. Thank you.
I love that. Oh, you're welcome. I love that. That was a really good dream. It's very, there's a lot of symbolism in that one.
Yeah.
We pull a card from Mecca real quick before we wrap things up here.
Yeah, we should.
Yes. I was having great fun with Mecca today. So I had these trivia cards for Halloween, and I was throwing them up, and I was getting such a kick. Like he was answering them. I was just having the time of my life with that.
Oh.
3 of Pentacles. I want one more clarification. I love the 3 of Pentacles because I'll show you what it looks like. So this is about sharing your knowledge with working with others to help them see your achievements and to showcase that here I can help you with this, or a collaboration of sorts. So I don't know if you're thinking to work with somebody else on something, or just basically sharing your knowledge that you have, because honestly, that kind of makes sense for Matt. He's a very knowledgeable individual. He knows things, or it blows me away. I'm like, how does he know this?
Yeah.
But it's more of an intuitive. So your knowledge based on just what your intuition, your spiritual, whatever this is, you're helping others with it. So there may be a project coming up where being able to share your specific skill set may help you shine and help those that you are working with shine. I don't know if there's something that you're working on in the near future, or if that's something that's going to present itself later on down the line. But yeah, it's a moment to just showcase yourself. I like that.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
Cool.
All right. Well, hopefully that makes some kind of sense to you. But yeah, this was an amazing night. I'm so glad that we had this opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody.
You're very welcome.
That's cool.
And Dee Dee, thank you for giving us your time, for breaking down our dreams for us, because I know it's time consuming. It's not something that's necessarily boom done in a few seconds. Like, you really do deep dive into everything. So thank you so much for your time and for putting that effort in for us. I appreciate that.
Oh, I really enjoy it, and I hope that it does help. At least it's supposed to. I always just want to inspire people to dig a little deeper and think about what it could mean, and like the interpretation you get. Like, take something out of it that's a tool that you can use, Yeah,
it's a lot of it's a nice open space for growth. I love that.
Yeah.
But I do believe, did you mention something earlier about you're going to have a dream study?
Oh yeah. I totally forgot. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you want to mention that before we wrap things up here?
Yeah. So I'm going to do another dream study. I'm looking for 10 people again. And I mean, if I have less, that's fine. If I have like a couple more, that's fine too. But I want to keep it right around 10. And I'm going to do dream re-entry and repetitive dreams. So if you're somebody who has repetitive dreams and you want to have a better understanding of it, we're going to work together for 7 days. If you're somebody who used to have a repetitive dream, or just any dream that you had that you're like, I really just want to go back to that dream and discover more of what, it meant, or like move deeper into it, we can do that too. And so it's, you got to commit to 7 days where you send me your dreams, or write to me. If you didn't have a dream, just say, like, were there any synchronicities during the day? How did you feel when you woke up in the morning? And then I will advise you each night. I advise you what to do next to help you either go deeper in, or what to like problem solve. If you're not getting dreams, what can we do to help you get dreams? Stuff like that. So I'll be with you the whole 7 days, which is why I only picked like 10 people, because that would be, that would be a lot.
Beyond 10 people would be insanity. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'll put more about it up, on our pages and Paranormally Blonde and everything, so people can
perfect,
join if they want to try it.
I'll be sure to share that out too, so that we can get that out there for everyone to see. Oh, that's phenomenal. I'm excited for you guys for that. I love that.
Yeah, it's so interesting. It's been amazing to watch people have like their aha moments. It's amazing.
I love that. Oh my goodness. Well, this has been a phenomenal night, guys. If you're interested in the dream reentry shenanigans, please reach out. I'll help guide people too. If I hear someone's interested, I'll send them your way as well. Yeah. Just thank you, everyone on the side. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you so much for doing this. This is so fun.
Yeah. Seriously. I couldn't do it without you. I'm not one to just go live by myself. Everybody knows how much I love lives. At least Sarah does. But I really love having you pull the cards, because it complements the dream analysis so much. I just love the way you pull the cards. It it really, I'm learning, and it's just a beautiful combination.
I think, we mesh well together with this. I like this a lot. So hopefully, well, I don't know. I feel like do we want to do this again? Do we want to?
Yeah, we'll do it again. And
we will post up our next date then once we figure it out. And everyone, thank you so much for this evening. That's it for us for tonight. And we'll see you again. We'll throw their date out there when we have it figured out, but we'll see you guys again soon.
Bye. I wonder if Rob's still going to disconnect from us.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.